The next evolution in single-stage press technology, the Lock and Load Iron Press Kit is a full-featured reloading kit offering rugged reliability for years of precision reloading. The Lock and Load Iron Press Kit includes the iron press, the press handle, automatic priming system, large and small primer tubes, large and small primer pickup tubes, primer housing tube, the primer catch tray, shell holder platform, a small parts bag, your die caddy, component feed bin and bracket, the Lock and Load bench scale, powder measure, a reloading manual, unique case lube, our Lock and Load bullet comparator set of 6, our Lock and Load die bushing 3-pack, a powder funnel that will accommodate 22 up to 45 caliber, a set of digital calipers, a shell holder kit that includes a number 1, 2, 5, 16, and 35, and the following case prep accessories: a chamfer and deburr tool, large and small primer pocket cleaners, as well as a variety of neck brushes. Your Hornady Lock and Load iron press should be mounted securely with two 5/16" bolts, 2 1/4 inches away from the edge of a solid level bench. The press mounting holes should be 3 3/4 inches apart. This bolt pattern is the same for all Hornady reloading presses. Mount the press using two 5/16" bolts that are long enough to secure the press to the bench with plenty of clearance for the nuts. Due to variations of benches, these bolts are not provided. We also recommend using 5/16" flat washers on the top and bottom in addition to lock washers on the bottom side. Firmly tighten both bolts. The iron press is also machined to fit the RCBS rock chucker bolt pattern. Next, thread the press handle into the ambidextrous toggle at the bottom of the press and tighten the jam nut using a 15/16" wrench. You are now ready to begin assembly of the automatic priming system. With purchase of the Lock and Load Iron Press Kit, the main body of the auto prime system should be already installed and set correctly from the factory. First, lightly oil the primer shuttle and insert the primer shuttle through the opening in the front of the ram so that it goes through the slot formed by the cap and the base. Ensure that the primer shuttle can slide freely. If not, loosen the 1/4x20 mounting screw, adjusting the priming base, and retighten the screws. Be sure to move the shuttle while tightening to check for binding. Next, install the shuttle retainer block, spring stud, and the spring. Slowly test the operation of the priming system using the press handle. If resistance is felt, stop the operation and check for binding or interference. Also, keep in mind that the system will become smoother once the parts break in. To install a primer punch, or to switch to a different size punch, you will need to remove the primer shuttle to do so. Do this by first removing the spring and then unscrewing and removing the spring stud. Raise the ram to move the shuttle away from the press and lift up on the shuttle retainer block to remove it. The primer shuttle should now slide out through the slot in the front of the ram. To install the correct size primer punch, grip the head of the punch with pliers and slide on the cup and spring. Next, thread this assembly into the primer shuttle. Be careful not to over-tighten. Reverse previous steps to reinstall the shuttle into the auto priming system. Once the priming system is assembled and you have verified that it is operating correctly, insert the correct size primer tube into the threaded housing. Be sure the notched end of the tube goes down into the housing. Install the primer housing tube over the primer tube by threading it onto the housing. Attach the primer tube support by pushing it onto the tube from above. Next, install the primer catch tray by snapping it onto the cap piece. Now, align the die caddy and bin bracket with the mounting holes on the top of the press. These brackets can be secured by any 832 threaded case prep accessory. We chose to use 2 of the supplied 832 screws to attach the bin bracket and then a neck brush and primer pocket cleaner on the other side. Now place the component feed bin onto the bin bracket. Next, insert the correct shell holder into the ram, followed by the shell holder platform. The iron press is compatible with Hornady, RCBS, and Lee shell holders. You are now ready to begin your reloading process.